Hey everybody, welcome to today's Ask Me Anything coaching session. It's what is today? Friday, March 27th. Glad to have you all here. There's at least 25 of you, it looks like, at the moment, and more are piling in as we speak. I'm Justin, one of the co-founders here at SiteSwan. In case this is your first time, we like to do these every so often to get everyone on the same page, let everyone hear each other's questions, and we can address them all together. The format of today's session is going to start where I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you'll hopefully find the questions tab to answer them. I know that sounds crazy, but the questions tab is how you will actually communicate with me and my moderators today, of which there are at least 3 or 4 of us, who will be the only ones who can see what you type into the questions box. So whether it's an actual question or whether you're answering me, the questions tab or icon is what you're going to be clicking in order to do that. Then we will go into the questions that you guys have been nice enough to submit ahead of time. I've done a little prep on my end to make sure I can answer those questions effectively. And then we'll go into all the questions you guys are asking right now in the moment. I predict we will get to everyone's questions today because we've done enough of these and we've kind of dialed it in. So unless something goes completely sideways, which I really hope it doesn't, knock wood, we will get to everyone's questions today. So without further ado, let's get this going. On the questions tab, I would like you to quickly tell me one win from the last week or so. And the reason I say that is because some of you were on our call last week or the week before. Some of you have just joined within the last week. So I want to hear a recent win of yours. Even if you shared it previously, but you don't have a new win to share, that's okay. You can share that one again because it helps everyone understand what has transpired in everyone else's businesses recently. I will not say last names. I will only say first names to keep everyone's privacy intact. So if you tell me exactly how much you charge and exactly whatever it is, the area that you're in, then don't worry. I won't divulge who it is exactly who said that. So let's start from the top. Ronnie's the first one to commit with a win. Ronnie has got a new client. That is awesome. Ronnie, do me a favor and tell us what industry that client is in. I would love to hear that. Mike is an expert at this. Mike says, I sold a site to a raw bar catering business on Long Island, which was a referral. Sold a site this morning to a power washing company, and I just sold a site 60 seconds ago on the phone to a lawn care company in Virginia. Bravo. Mike, out of curiosity, what's that mobile detailer name? Because I remember a mobile detailer coming across our plate in some way, shape, or form not too long ago. And if I could offer you any words of wisdom or avoidance, I will. Ronnie, Tree Service was the client that Ronnie got. Our tree service team is awesome. It's awesome. That must have been an easy sale. Christy says, we added more video content to a client's page this week and started to do more video. Interesting. Trying to chart out how much we want to charge for some of these services. I love that, Christy. And if you have any, if you wanted to share some of the ways in which you're going about creating your video for your clients, we'd love to hear that. I know there's a bunch of different ways that you can accomplish that. Everyone's doing it a little bit differently. Kevin says, I sold a church website and a podcast website. Oh, talking to a print shop now and hoping to close next week. Kevin, does that mean that you're at 10? Kevin, does that mean you got 10? I know that was a big milestone that you and I had spoken about with potentially reaching, and I'm kind of curious. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until Kevin gets back to me on that before I read another win. Kevin, is that 10? Drum roll, please. He's at 10. 10 websites for Kevin. All right, man. All right, you're going to be hearing from me via email. That is awesome. Angela says, posted an offering on Facebook. 1 lead received. That was fast. Next step, use prospecting tool, start making calls. That's right, Angela. Well, actually, you're missing a step, which is the warm outreach. If you're looking at the 14-day launch plan, which if anyone doesn't know what I just said, get your butt over to the resources tab and click this link and download this document, because this is your key to success for getting your first or your next website client on board ASAP. Jason launched a new roofing company website on Monday, working on a website now for a tour group, and should be starting on a site next week for a barge builder. Dude, you are all over the map with your industries. That's awesome. By the way, if anyone needs a custom theme built, you can request one. So if you're like, I got this opportunity, but I don't know which theme I should use, just submit a request for a custom theme. And if you're really keen on this becoming an opportunity that you need, go ahead and on the Create New Site screen, you can actually submit for a custom theme design pushed to the very, very top of the list for 99 bucks. This way, you don't have to wait for other people's themes to come in before yours. You just like, boop, top of the list. It's like the Fast Pass at Disney, except a lot less expensive. Mike got me that detail. Thank you very much. Let's see. Chris, first ever client. Yes. Landscaping company. Would love to see the ability to delete up to everything about a plan as long as it is not in use. Someone went a little crazy with their plans and apparently needs to delete some. All right. I appreciate that. We're going to get that submitted as a feature request. In the meantime, you obviously can, well, you know what? Let's talk about it right now. Why not? We're here. We're talking about wins. Let's talk about this. So from the billing screen, you are going to be able to go to your account. So from your account screen, you're going to have all of your plans that you've created previously. And while you cannot delete them, you can hide them. And if you hide them, they won't be visible on the drop down when you're setting someone up to charge them. There's a long story behind why you can't delete them, but you can't delete them. All right, let's see. Denise says, finished up a website I did from scratch for a pastor that's offering VA services, virtual assistant services, devotions, and photography services. That's cool. That's unique. Cool. All right, we got Justin, who goes by Just, only in this Zoom room. Got my first sale. Oh, Justin, you are going to get an email or a support ticket response with a solution to the horse issue that you faced earlier this week, I want to say. We've been actively looking at that and came up with a really cool solution and a little bonus for you, or a little modification in the logo. So we were so excited to see you get your first site launched. We jumped in and did a couple things. We didn't modify the site itself, but we're going to enable you to do that. We could do it for you if you'd like, but we're going to enable you to do that so that you can make it look even better and avoid the problem that you were facing. So awesome job. Congratulations on that. By the way, Justin sold it for $500 up front and $59 per month. That's great that you snagged a setup fee on your very first site. Congratulations. That's really great. Lowell says, I also recently got a new website client. Congratulations to you. Upsold him on the Google Business Profile Setup and Optimization Service. That's awesome, dude. That is so cool. By the way, if you're curious about Google Business Profile Setup and Optimization, the setup itself, you kind of have to do yourself, but optimization, all the way down on the resources page of our dashboard, I'm going to talk about this in a minute, is this solution, which I've used myself and I do like it. So if you want to help your clients optimize their Google Business Profile, you can easily get $300, $400, $500 a month from your client by using this. The costs on it are a fraction of that, so you can really bring in some good revenue. And that's actually going to apply to the question that actually, wait, Justin had this question. Who had this question? Let me see. Hold on. Adam had this question. So Adam, if you're here, I didn't see you submit anything just yet. I didn't look at the attendee list. Adam had asked if we suggest any programs to provide additional services to our clients, and how do you price them? He was specifically looking to add some SEO packages and wanted to have an affordable option at like $400, then a premium service at like $1,000. How can he sell them effectively and provide great fulfillment? So he's mentioned some things he looked into, and the truth is this: I have yet to come across a reliable white label SEO company that is worth a damn. And in all seriousness, it's kind of hard to come by SEO companies that are actually doing the work, that don't require you to do some crazy heavy lifts to get results. And I'll tell you why I think I've been so disappointed, because I have always went to them with a SiteSwan site that has been optimized, and then looking, see what else can be done. And they're just like, well, I mean, you could do this, like these crazy things. I'm like, I don't know if I don't do these crazy things. Like, can you just do it? And they're like, well, maybe if you do this, and this. So it just never really seemed to work out. And what does that tell me? It tells me that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. No, that you're delivering such great SEO services built into the website that perhaps you should just charge more for the website. Because I've seen SiteSwan sites that barely did anything in terms of SEO smack the crap out of sites that have been alive in that industry, in that market for a decade. So these sites have a natural tendency and ability to rise to the top of search results if you don't completely screw it up, meaning you don't take our theme, pick it apart, and destroy it and make something else out of it. If you take our themes, optimize them for your client, you're going to be very, very happy with the results. But if you want to talk about an upsell opportunity, this definitely is one that you could do, which is the Google Business Profile. So if it's a business that could benefit from a better presence or a better, ranking in like the top 3 of the Google Business Profiles, this is definitely a solution you can look at. So click that link and check it out. What else we got? We got EC, whoever that is, finishing up a Chamber of Commerce website. Oh no, not a Chamber of Commerce website. And during a networking meeting, picked up 2 more interested website clients. Well, congratulations on that. A 4th I did a free homepage design for, passed on a website last year, came back this week, and I sold them the site. That is awesome, whoever you are, EC. Also, I'd love to know how that Chamber of Commerce website's coming out. I asked that because a Chamber of Commerce website is not a traditional small business website. Therefore, it's not a perfect solution for our platform. Have I seen people do it? Yes. Would I recommend you go out and pitch a bunch of chambers of commerce? No. Depending on how large the chamber is, especially, they want a lot of other things, business directories, blah, 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 and it's just it's difficult to do unless you have a very specific solution for a chamber of commerce. But joining a chamber of commerce, attending the chamber of commerce meetings, being on the website committee within the chamber of commerce are all excellent things you should be doing, because those definitely do lead to opportunities that you can turn into sales, as this person just shared with us as well. Gary says, do you need to have an LLC in order to set up Stripe? So I'm going to get to that question in just a bit. Well, actually, let's just go there now. No, you don't. You do not need that. When you set up Stripe, you can set up as an individual account. You can convert it later to a business account, but you absolutely do not need that to get started. All right? All right. Let's get into it. Ronnie, who I know is here, submitted a question ahead of time. And Ronnie said, I purchased stock photos, but when I upload them to my site, the entire image appears grayed out. What are the dimensions for photos that are compatible with the site? And on the service tab, okay, let's talk about that for a second. I have never seen what you're talking about. Ronnie, if you ever have an issue where an image is not uploading properly to a website, I want you to reach out to us immediately, because we can get to the bottom of it and figure it out. That should never, ever, ever occur. With that said, could something like that have happened? Yes, but I'd want to see the image attached in a support ticket and a screenshot of what it looks like for you, so we can address it. As far as the dimensions of photos that are compatible with the site, so we do have this image. Let me just find it. We have an image guidelines article, image size guidelines right here, which will give you a bird's eye view about the size of images that are used and accepted throughout the site. So that will probably be super helpful to you. But then Ronnie also says, on the services tab, all the services for a given niche are displayed on a single page. Is this sufficient for SEO to help each service rank in search engines? So what is Ronnie talking about? I'll tell you right now. If you go to any of our themes, you are going to see that we have a services page generally on almost every single one of them. And when there is a services page, there will also be, let me just preview the site with you guys. There will also be a breakdown of the core services on the page. So what Ronnie's saying is, hey, is this sufficient for the purpose of getting good search results? And the short answer is yes. Is it perfectly optimized to the max? No. And that's where I see people will change these contact us buttons to read more buttons, and then they'll create individual pages for overseeding services. Now, if you want to get really crazy, take it a step further and actually inject a specific city that you are trying to appeal to, and then make 3 or 4 or 5 of those pages so that you are talking about overseeding services in several different markets. The one thing you're going to have to do, though, is reword the paragraphs. You can't have the exact same language with just a city name swapped out in order to and expect the search engines to give you any love. They're smarter than that. Okay, they're gonna pick up on that. So don't try to trick them that way. But yeah, having individual pages per service is definitely a great way to optimize further your client's SEO ranking. So there you go. Those are Ronnie's questions. Ronnie, excellent questions. I really appreciate that. Hopefully this helps. Joaquina, we're doing a special demonstration for Joaquina today. Joaquina says, I got a client who sent me their logo, but it's in a gray box. Womp womp. I'm having a hard time removing it from the background of her logo. Any suggestions? I have an excellent suggestion for you, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to demonstrate it right now. So in case you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, we are dealing with, and I don't know if this is not your client, but we're dealing with a logo that looks like this. And one of you might recognize this because it's from one of your sites, okay? A logo that looks like this, where there's a gray box back here. When you're trying to put this into a header that's pink or purple or black or white or anything other than this exact shade of gray, it looks like dog poop. So we are going to have to remove this gray background. And what I want you to do in order to achieve that is I want you to mosey on over to your favorite image editor, which do we link to any of the image editors back in? No, we don't. No, we don't, but that's okay. We're going to go into Canva, okay? If you guys don't know what Canva is, welcome to planet Earth, year 2026. We're going to drag this image into Canva, and then we're going to load it right over here. It's going to load up for us in 3, 2, 1, 0. So now we just open this in the editor, and this will take me, now watch very closely. This is going to require a lot of special technique, okay? Very special technique. You have to move your mouse over here exactly to where it says BG Remover. And then you're going to take your finger and you're going to press it on the left button on your mouse. And then it disappears. Now, what's cool about this is that not only did it remove the gray, but it actually converted this to a transparent background. So that means I can place this over any background color and it's going to look good. So in order to do this, I have to go to share, and then I go to download. And then from the download screen, I'm going to make sure PNG is selected and transparent background. Let me go through that again this way in case I lost you guys. All right. You are going to click the background remover. You are going to click share. Then you're going to click download. Then you're going to make sure PNG is the file type. You're going to click transparent background and then download. And what this gets you is an image with a transparent or clear background and just the logo itself that can be placed once again on any color header, background, whatever. Okay. I hope that was helpful to you. That is the secret to removing backgrounds. Really, really tricky. Okay, here we go. No one really, Joaquina, I'm not trying to like bust your chops or whatever. Like, not a lot of people know this exists. Lots of people go into Photoshop, or they'll go to some background mover tool online, or blah, blah, blah. Like, Canva does this for free. You could do that, and it's great. Next question from Joaquina. When uploading videos with Vimeo, now, as you guys know, when you add a video to the SiteSwan platform, any site that you add it to, you're going to be required to have a video that already exists on YouTube or on Vimeo. Those are the two services we support. So what Joaquin is saying is that when I add videos via Vimeo, when the video is done playing, it shows my name in the top of the video, and it shows more videos that I have created. Is there a way to not show my name? So there is not a way to not show your name, but I have two solutions for you. Number one, rename yourself on Vimeo. And then like I do this with YouTube, because that you could also do it with YouTube, by the way. Like I actually think maybe the YouTube route might be, if you're going to host a lot of your clients' videos all in one place, you might like the YouTube experience just slightly better. But I have like this channel name on YouTube that's something like website background videos or something like that, and we'll just load videos up there. And if that name pops up, it's not offending anybody. Okay. So it's weird because like on the video, especially if it's like in the background, it's gonna pop up for like a quick second in the beginning, quick second at the end. Um, but if you're playing a video in line, it might be a little bit more evident to you. Now, I was also say this: if you have a paid plan with Vimeo, they do allow you to fully customize the video player. So you can pull out things like you can pull out the volume button, the play button. You could change the colors of it. You can hide the logo, hide the name, all that fun stuff. Their plans aren't that expensive, but I'd also kind of just recommend you that if you're doing a lot of work, like Christy mentioned, doing a ton of video work for her clients now, maybe that would make sense for Christy. But I would definitely try renaming it first and then trying YouTube separate second. And if that really doesn't work, then go ahead to the other option, which would be paying for Vimeo. So speaking of Christy, Christy's got our next question. Let me just see if anyone is chiming in with anything I shared. So in case they're like correcting me or stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Galleril, can you just confirm with us your client has the same problem? What problem is that? Just so we can get clear on that. Wendy said, speaking of YouTube videos, do the videos have to be made public in order to share on the site? They don't. They can be private. The only thing you're going to have to do is just make sure that when you're setting the status for the video is that it can be embedded on sites. So I think private setting is the only one you can't do that on. Unlisted, which means not public, like it's not visible on YouTube if you're looking for it on the channel. And actually, that goes back to, hold on a second, that goes back to the question from Joaquina is I wonder, because Vimeo has very similar settings, I wonder if you make all of the videos unlisted, that you could prevent when the video is done playing of showing other videos in the account. Because if you've made all of them private, then none of them would be offered up to watch afterward. Just a thought. I don't know if that would work, but that might help. Galleril, thank you so much. The image size thing was what you had a concern with. I'm glad that answered it. All right, on to the next one. Christy is saying, what are your thoughts on using a service like Instantly to help with cold email outreach? I feel like it could potentially help us reach 10 times more prospects when we have a busy week where we don't have as much time to reach out to prospects. 100%. Matter of fact, we have a link to Instantly right over here in our dashboard, the bottom section, the marketplace. Instantly is right here. So we list it as email warm-up. And what I'll just quickly define for you there, email warm-up is when you have a brand new email address that you're going to be using to market your services. And brand new email addresses usually get relegated to the spam or the junk box. And the messages you are writing so hard and so well to get into people's inbox and get them seen so you can close a deal are just never being seen. So Instantly does a great job of warming up the emails so that they can get optimized for the inbox. But they take things a step further and they allow you to actually do cold outreach with email addresses that are pre-warmed up for you or with your newly warmed up email address. And they have some other cool features too that allow you to do cold outreach. So it does come at a price tag, not incredibly expensive, but that would be something if you're looking to invest in cold outreach. It is a great tool. I've seen and heard a lot of people who've used it with success. I haven't heard specifically of SiteSwan clients who've done so. We tend to be a group of people who just like to do, outreach in a fashion that is very, very personalized and not automated, but it is a smart way to increase your threshold. James says, on the marketing website, can you swap out the website examples with other examples more geared toward your target businesses that are not included in the image library? Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm wondering if you're the person, someone I just learned about is on our platform and is focusing primarily on the healthcare industry. So what they wanted to do was optimize their marketing website for um, the healthcare industry. They only want to feature designs that are related to healthcare. So let me just go over this with you and how you'd go about doing this. So, and let me just further clarify exactly what the request is. So the request is on the homepage of your marketing website, you're going to see we have website examples, which include a bunch of different handpicked designs that are designed to showcase the versatility of the platform and your ability to sell websites to almost any industry that exists. If you want to swap one of these out with something else, I'm going to show you a quick way to do it. The major concern that people have is they'll look at this and say, okay, how the heck do I get a screenshot that looks like this? Because what this is actually is a square image. And a square image is something that is going to be, I'm going to say, slightly a little bit more advanced to be able to can someone in the I'm gonna hold on, let me just get this link. Wait, before you answer Justin's thing, just I need to get the link for you. Hold on a second. Hold on. Did I just go past it 5 times? Yeah, it's right here. I'll just put it in the thing for you. This way you have it. All right. So did that work? It did. All right. So you want to if you want to swap out this image with something else, again, there's a square image, and the way in which if you ever want to do this yourself, okay, we get a little bit technical here. If you ever want to do this yourself, there is a way to grab an entire screen, and I like to use this tool called Go Full Page. Okay, this is a nice thing if you want like a before and after for a client. You take their existing website, snag the entire image of the entire site, top to bottom, and then go to the new site that you launch for them or are building for them, and then snag that full image. And then you can put them side by side, and it's like, wow, there's a difference. So we take this basically and then crop out just the top portion in the shape of a square. But since we've already done that for you, there's no sense in you recreating anything. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to our website, siteswan.com/themes. Okay. You can find it on the navigation bar. Themes is right here. And you could take any of these images you want and bring them into your site. So what I could do is I can actually click to open image in a new tab, and you get this square image that I can now download, save image as, and we'll do something like boat and put it on the desktop where there's just a couple of things. And then that is now saved. So I can go into my website that I'm editing my examples on, and I can either swap one out by simply editing it, replacing it, and then uploading the new image, just like this. Or I could, of course, add it as one of the options in my gallery. But either way, if I were to add it, by the way, here's how I'd do that. I'd go to the add images option when I'm editing this post, either on the top or the bottom, and then simply source that image, click OK, and then that's it. So if you want to do that, you certainly can. All right, we'll save our changes. So that's how you can modify that. All right, no fancy tricks, just grab it from us and you are good to go. Jason says, is there a way to show an outline map of a service area or a map with pins where the business has serviced customers? So yes to the first, no to the last. Well, at least not without doing something a little more custom. So how do we get a map of a service area? We can do that by modifying the the map post that appears on any of your sites. So let me just go into one. Let's create a site from scratch actually and start fresh. All right, so we're going to take weed control. So it's going to be Justin's weed control. And this will be 100 Main Street in our town. All right. And then, cool. Grab this, click create site. And now we'll have a fresh site to work off of so you can see how I'm going to do this. So by default, when you're creating a site that has a map post built in, you are going to have the address that you typed is going to be what appears on the map, but you can easily override that. And you can override it with pretty much anything, but it does not support multiple pins. That's the only thing. If you want to do multiple pins, you're going to have to create your own custom Google map, grab the code and pop it into your site. So there's a bit of this is maybe that's like a 4 or 5 step process. This is hopefully going to show you just like a 1-step process. So the map here post looks like this, which you could modify, by the way. It doesn't have to be the square option. You can make it stretch the entire width. But anyway, if I click on edit, you will see that my address for the map is being pulled from here. So if I just did the town, okay, it's actually going to highlight the entire town instead of just dropping a pin, because it recognizes, okay, you're looking for an area as opposed to a town. I don't know if this will work, but let's try this. Can it do an entire county? It certainly can. See that? So it's outlining the entire county. So you have some flexibility there, just doesn't support multiple pins in the same map. I hope that helps. Again, a custom Google map would allow you to do that. You would add a custom map by simply going to the add a section box option, find HTML, add to site, modify this, just delete all of this and paste in your Google map code, and it'll generate the map that you built inside of Google Maps. If you guys have never built a Google map before, Google it. I don't know. It's there. All right. You know, this person, I always forget their name because they register as the business name. Give me a second. I'm going to try and address them by their name. Hold on. Hold on. All right, Tina. There we go. Tina, I wish you would register for the live storm with Tina instead of your business name. All right, Tina, no, she goes, I know the platform currently offers a column/section layout feature, but I'm looking for something a bit different. The ability to create side-by-side text in multi-columns within a single text block rather than using separate column sections. So what Tina's describing is she was nice enough to provide a screenshot, which, guys, if you ever want me to guarantee I'll answer your question, send a screenshot. They are super helpful. So Tina sent this, which to me, this looks like a clipping from a magazine. This is a very common thing you'll find in print publications, and is not something you will see very often on the web, because with the web, you're actually not quite sure if you should be going left to right in these boxes or down or top to bottom and then to the right. So I don't love this for the web regardless, but also I don't have a good way for you to do this anyway. The only way that you can effectively do this is to actually have 2 columns, separate columns, both with text only in them, and that could work. But it's the closest thing to it. But to have an actual, it's like one post broken into columns, we do not support that or have that feature. It's just not super common on websites. If you've seen something and like, I wish it would just be, and you want to replicate something you've seen out in the wild, just send it our way and we can maybe offer you some suggestions on how to, if you can't do it exactly, make it just, a little bit better. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got from the people. So we went through all the questions now of people who submitted them ahead of time. So now we are going to get with everyone who's submitting questions on the call. So Let's go and see what we got here. Chris said, oh yeah, so this is going back to the thing. Deleting plans, can't do that, but you can hide them. It'll clear up the visual noise. All right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum. I have a question about meta keywords. According to my resources, which are, well, Lowell's resources, which are Google and ChatGPT, they're no longer relevant. Can you elaborate on that? So I would agree to a certain degree that they are not super relevant, but I have still seen them aid in search results. This is my personal observation. Until they are notably disregarded by all the search engines, I am still going to suggest you make sure your keywords are in place. It literally takes 15 seconds to update your keywords. You are doing no harm to your site by having keywords on them. And worst case, they're ignored one day. But what Lowell specifically is talking about is going to be in the SEO tab. You'll see there's 3 different options for the meta title, meta description, and meta keywords. And I've seen some people abuse this with doing like every keyword combination they could possibly think of. But especially if you respect the recommendation of 120 of what do we have a limit of? I forget what it is. We have a recommended limit of something. Oh, hello. 255 right there. So don't overdo it. Okay. If you do, I don't know, maybe it hurt you, but there's really no hurt in continuing to use it for the time being. All right. My other questions, where are they? Where are my other questions? Guys, if to my moderators, if you can't answer the question, push it over to me. I'll be happy to look at it. Or if you've already answered one, do you think other people could benefit from hearing it? Please post it for me. Okay, let me go back to the one I saw before. Okay, so about the plans, about the plans that you have access to in your dashboard for client billing, I just want to clarify something. So the way in which we define the different billing plans that you have is on the monthly fee or the yearly fee, whatever that recurring charge is. That is how they are defined. So you need not have multiple plans that have the same price per month if you have different setup fees, unless you were incorporating that setup fee for some reason into the plan name. So, like, oftentimes what I'll do is I will have um, a, I'll just say, whatever my monthly fee is and whatever's included. So if it's just website, monthly maintenance, or website plus reputation management, or website plus social media, website plus whatever, and then I will just charge a setup fee according to whatever it is that we agreed upon. Because oftentimes, if a client needs more pages or more something, I'm gonna have to charge them more for it. So therefore, every single plan that you have, you can every single time you're setting up client billing for a client, you can override the setup fee. You cannot override the recurring monthly or yearly fee. Okay? Okay. All right, what am I missing here? Joe says, you have video embeds built in, but what about audio embeds? I'm building a site for a voice actor and his samples are audio, not video. Let me ask you this question, Joe. Is there any reason why they're not video? If I were you, I would strongly advise your client get videos made up for all of the voiceovers, because not only will they benefit from having something visual associated with the video, with the audio, but they can also garner views on YouTube, which is the second largest search engine on the internet. You should never not put something on YouTube if it has audio or has video or has any imagery at all whatsoever. What kind of video would you do to accompany a voiceover sample? Well, you could have details about how to contact the business or the voiceover artist. You can have the voiceover's portfolio or previous work. You can have what's important to the voiceover artist on there. A series of several different, text images basically that could, in a slideshow fashion, rotate throughout the video would be a great visual to accompany whatever voiceover samples that they have. That's my suggestion. Now, we do technically have an audio option, which is going to be through SoundCloud. So if the client, let me just show you what that looks like real quick. If your client is willing and able to get the audio onto SoundCloud, you can do exactly that. And all you have to do is just modify this to include the SoundCloud playlist. So if they want to create a playlist of all their voiceover samples on SoundCloud, I'm pretty sure it's free, and you can pull it in there and they can go one by one. All right. All right. All right. James says, is there an area where we can grab pictures from all of the themes to be used with another theme or on a blank canvas? We don't expose the entire image library that we use across all of our sites to you. I feel like there's a reason that we don't. It probably has something to do with usage rights, but we only include them with each theme. Can you yourself remove them? Yes. How would you do that? Let me show you. So let's say this background image is a part of this theme, and you're like, man, I'm doing a roofing website that this would work perfect for that site. Okay, let's show you how you might be able to grab it. So click on edit for this post. Go to your style tab and go to replace image. You're not actually replacing the image, you're just accessing your image library. From here, you are going to locate the image in question. You're going to enlarge it, and then right here, download it. This will download the original high-resolution version of this image that was initially uploaded into the platform so that you can have a full resolution image in all its glory and use it anywhere else that you want. Okay? Hope that helps. All righty. Then we got, let's see, Justin said, oh, Justin and I are both rocking our SiteSwan water bottles, I think, today. So a thank you note. Yeah, so Justin was nice enough last week to Google us on he just typed in SiteSwan and found our Google Business profile, clicked this, wrote a review, sent us a note to say, hey, look, I wrote you guys a review. And with that, he got a water bottle. If any of you guys want one just like this, it's double insulated. It's got a straw built in. And I think he'll vouch. It's pretty awesome. It's like 30-something ounces. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Limited edition logo version. Pretty cool. If you guys want one, just do what I said. Leave a review and send us a note at info@siteswan.com showing us you left it. And we'll get one out to you. I think we have like 3 left. So first 3 people to do that. All right. What else? What else? You guys are great with these questions today. All right. Let's see what we got. Victor says, a very warm potential client just kept emailing me with about a dozen questions about CRM, and the email loop kept going. Suggestions on how to handle that. Well, Victor, what exactly was the question about CRM? Are you telling me that they're interested in getting a CRM? Are they interested in figuring out how the leads from their site can get pushed into their CRM? Give me a little bit more context. I'll be able to answer your question a little bit better. Bum, bum, bum. If you give me an answer, Victor, I'll be happy to dig in a little bit deeper. I see a couple of feature requests. Thank you for that, Mike. What else? If I get an answer from Victor, we will continue answering that question. If any of you have a last minute question, please input it now. Absolutely, Mike. Go ahead. In the meantime, as we start to wrap this up, I'd like you all just to tell me one thing, one key takeaway that you got from this conversation today, whether it's what someone else shared about a win they had, whether it's about a question you heard, an answer you saw, anything will be helpful for us that we know what topics we need to be focusing on, doing more for, and things like that. So let me know. Let me know. All right, Victor maybe is not going to get me that answer. Let me just presume how this question might have gone. The client says, "Hey, I have a CRM. I'm getting leads through my site. How do I get them to my CRM?" Okay, fair question. So my personal favorite thing to do is to use a service called Zapier. Zapier is basically a solution that allows you to pull in stuff from different places and push them into different places. It could be as simple as well, actually, this is one of the simple things to do. Every time that you get a lead through your website, you can create a special folder in your inbox. And then what Zapier will do is it'll look in that inbox, and every time it sees an email in that inbox, it'll yank out the details and pop it into your CRM, assuming that your CRM has a integration with Zapier, which most of them will. It's as simple as that. I know I'm probably oversimplifying it a little bit, but Zapier's got a really cool thing where like you can actually describe the type of connection you're trying to build and what you want, and it'll actually do a lot of the building for you to streamline any sort of technical issues that you may think you're going to incur. The other thing you could do, to Victor's point, is if the CRM tool has a form, a lead collection form functionality built into it, then that usually is portable and could be HTML. You just pop into any site on your platform. And then instead of using the contact form that's built into the website, you can take the contact form that's provided by the CRM and using the HTML post, just pop it in anywhere you want. Joe says, how do I get past my fear of cold calling? Oh, Joe. I actually just put out a video about this that will probably hit next week or something like that. The biggest things are you have to try and get to the bottom of what your fear actually is. And sometimes the most common thing is fear of rejection. But what is the fear of rejection actually? What is it actually about the fear of rejection? What does rejection mean? It means I don't want what you have. Every single day of your life, you're rejecting certain things. You're rejecting things that just aren't good for you. You're rejecting sleeping until 10 a.m. You're rejecting. Some people reject going to the gym. Some people reject leading with empathy and love instead of hate. There's a lot of things that you can reject, and rejection can be very healthy sometimes. So, what I want you to do is turn rejection on its head and think about how when you get rejected, you are actually building up toward the next positive response that you are going to get. And I also want to remind you that when you are told no, it's just short for not now. NO, the first two letters of not now. They just didn't get a chance to say the rest of that statement. So they're just saying no, and they get cut off. That's what I presume that they mean. So a no is not a no forever. It's just simply a not now, and you have every right to reach back out to them. If you're worried you're going to screw up, if you're worried you're going to say the wrong thing, if you're worried that you are going to, flub your words, well, guess what? You're not going to get any better at it unless you actually start doing it. And I want you to pretend you're a goldfish. Goldfish, like their memory resets every 10 seconds or something crazy like that. Just pretend you're a goldfish. When you have one horrible call that goes sideways, goldfish, it's gone. Out of your brain, never to return again, and just focus on the next call. You have to realize that no one gives a crap about the mistakes you make, or nor do they even know their mistakes. No one's going to remember your name, that you called, where you're from, what you said, what you do. No one's going to remember it. People don't remember what they had for lunch yesterday. Do you? Do you know what you had for lunch yesterday? People don't remember anything, like who called me on what day and what. It doesn't make a difference. You owe it to yourself to be able to um, fight for your right to earn the income that you deserve. Do not let someone else telling you they don't need what you're offering limit your potential. It's just not fair. It's just not right. You should not let that type of thing bother you. And I want to share one thing with you that I think might be helpful to you. Um, there is there's a really interesting concept that's basically the the more you can get, the more you can withstand discomfort or doing something consecutively without tangible results, the more likely you are to find success. There is no official way to be able to guarantee success, but the closest thing to it is being able to deal with a difficult or challenging task that you do over and over again until you start winning. Most people give up cold calling literally 3 calls before their first opportunity comes through. And I also hear people say, "Oh, well, I've tried cold calling." I say, "Oh, really? How many people do you call?" 12. Well, that's not trying cold calling. That's just dipping your toe into it. You have not actually tried. It's like my son trying broccoli. It's like, I tried it. No, you didn't. You didn't try it. You didn't try the broccoli. You have to take an actual bite, chew it, swallow it, and then have another bite, chew it, and swallow it. You have to do the thing before you can say that you're even scared of it. And I've seen some people too who've done a complete 180 with that. Like they'll start off saying, "I don't like this." My youngest son said, "I don't like rice." Really? Have you tried it? No. Oh, I like rice. Um, Not to say that cold calling is gonna be your favorite thing to do, but I've seen a lot of people who actually start to get a real true charge out of winning over a client on the phone, getting that demo scheduled, and them actually looking forward to that. And I think Mike is one of them. Mike's on the call today. Someone else I interviewed not too long ago said the same thing: is that cold calling has actually become a way in which you have been able to effectively change something about yourself for the better. Because one thing for sure is that you do an hour of cold calling, and that's not a lot, by the way. Do an hour of straight cold calling, you will walk out of your office, your house, you'll talk to anybody. You will talk to anybody. You want to boost your confidence in speaking to strangers? Do some cold calling. You will not regret it. I do talk a lot about this stuff on social media. If you guys want to follow SiteSwan on Instagram, really wherever, like as of now, we're posting the same stuff to all the platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We talk a lot about things that might be helpful to you from both a mindset standpoint and also from a technical standpoint. So if you want to give us a follow, you probably, I hope, won't regret it. Some of you have listed your key takeaways. Um, Let's see. You guys mentioned the warm outreach email tool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. How you can update, use a photo from one template on another. And also, the memory of a goldfish. Yes, Angela. It works quite well. I'm a goldfish. I'm a gold, like Dory from Finding Nemo. All right. All right, I think we're good for now. You guys have been awesome today. Just so you know, next time we're doing any sort of chat like this, I'm going to pull up my calendar. We haven't publicized it yet, but this time, nope. Wait. On someday, I don't even know when it's going to be. And I don't want to say it because I think I might have to change it. Sometime soon, you're going to get invited to a 14-day webinar, 14-day launch plan webinar. We're going to go through the entire 14-day launch plan. We sometimes go off topic and discuss some other stuff, but that's going to be the primary focus of the meeting. So if you, by the way, if you guys haven't done this already, anyone who has not yet booked a coaching call, click this green button in your dashboard and connect with Ryan. You're going to schedule your call using this link right here, get on his calendar and get walked through whatever challenges or issues you're facing with. So if it's sales, if it's getting your first client, we'll walk you through the entire 14-day launch plan one-on-one. All right. So be sure to do that. And hopefully we'll be seeing you next week or soon after that with the 14-day launch plan webinar. So you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for your attention, your time, your dedication, and for being a part of the SiteSwan family. Please remember, it is Friday. It's not the end of the day. If you've been putting off doing something to grow your web design business, guys, now's the time. Just do it now. Do it now. Do it this weekend. Don't hesitate. Don't delay. Get to work. Thank you all. We'll see you later. Have a nice weekend.